So my eyes are like really bothering me. I've been in front of my computer way too long and I'm going to see an optometrist. And it's raining, and it's dark, it's kind of gray, and going to check my eyes. Going to the optometrist. Here we go. Getting on the highway, and there's traffic. Great. I'm finally at the optometrist. But when you think of going to see an optometrist, you might not think of a room like this. Walls, a big green screen, big TV, a trampoline. What?
Okay, so it's not what we do, it's how we do it.
I don't know if it's blue or red.
Je faisais ma chatte, main farouche, sans les fontaines pis ton chien. J'aime ça quand tu sais plus où mettre ta main.
Say that again.
Okay, so it's not what we do, it's how we do it. For instance, I could get really mad and just like ram this in, but I'll probably break it. So I'll just balance it on a balance board. Yeah, so when you're running and your eyes are getting dry and red, what else is going on?
Okay, let's do our interview. We'll just like keep talking, and this will be our interview. Very shy.
Exploration of ideas.
Yes. I didn't think you did. Here. Closer. Tell us a bit about yourself and tell us a bit about what you do.
Okay, I'm a bit of a rebel optometrist, so this is kind of off the record.
I like rebels. I'm here with Dr. Estelle Saunders. You are an optometrist, a holistic optometrist.
Yes.
Who would be a typical person that comes to see you?
So typical people who come are people who are interested in improving their health and their vision.
Okay.
A lot of people want to reduce their prescriptions or their dependency on glasses.
Can you reduce prescription?
That. Yes, I do that. I like.
You can do that.
Yeah, yeah. So
we're talking about dryness, and we're going to talk about being in your 40s and suddenly starting to lose your vision.
Okay.
So I get dry eyes often, especially when I run. I notice that, I don't know if it's being outside and it's very windy. I don't know if it's because whenever I do a race and I work my body at a really high level, I think maybe because I'm inflamed, maybe because I'm dehydrated, I get a lot of the wind. I just find that after a race, for sure, I can guarantee my eyes are going to be red and dry. Mm-hmm. So what do you think of that?
The lifestyle issue here of, what is being done. So running a race outside in dusty, dry conditions, definitely your eyes are going to get dry anyway. So you've got to keep blinking and keep hydrated. And then also the same kind of thing happens at the computer. If you keep staring at it, which most of us do, we're not blinking. Like ideally you want to blink every 3 seconds. And it's interesting that the brain actually, for your mind to absorb information, it needs to have a tiny little break every 3 seconds. I think that's really interesting that it's exactly the same ideal period of time. For instance, I really like to encourage people to use the 10-10 rule. So every 10 minutes, look across the room about 10 feet away for a second. Okay. It takes 1/3 of a second to change focus. It's like this.
Yes.
So if we just look across the room at something pleasant, out of the window, across the room at your children, and then back again at what you're doing, then that little break helps your eyes to relax, because you've got that dynamic shift that's happened instead of like locking into one plane. That's like death. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Just get back to dry eyes. So for some people, there's a predisposition to dryness because the tear film is either genetically predisposed to the thin tear film, or our nutrition is such that it's thin. So I'm just going to show you. So this would be the tear film on the eye. If this is on the eye, that's the outside. And it needs to have an oily layer that will prevent evaporation. So when you take essential fatty acids in, like flaxseed oil, omega-3s, and the other oils, that gives you a good buffer. Then we've got a huge watery layer, which is affected by how much fluid we take in. And ideally, we want to take in good water. And then the inner layer is a mucin layer, which is like the inside of the mouth that makes everything slick. So you want tear volume related to hydration, and you want to have good essential fatty acids in your system. I also met someone who was in his 70s. So usually women are more prone to dry eye than men for some reason. Probably it's hormonal as well. And he had dry eye the year before when I saw him. He actually had changes on the outer surface of his corneas. And so when I saw him, everything was beautiful and smooth and no weird little geographic changes. And I said to him, so what have you been doing? Because you don't seem to have dry eye anymore. And he was kind of a little embarrassed, but he said his kids had taught him how to make water kefir. So that's a fermented beverage that's really good for your gut. And his dry eye disappeared.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I really am a firm believer that what is happening in the gut affects everything.
Yeah. So what should I do? You mentioned
increase your fatty acids.
Increase my fatty acids.
And your hydration.
And my hydration.
More water, good quality water, and get your pH checked out.
Okay.
You can just buy little strips and check your own pH. You can start drinking fresh lemon juice water in the morning. Mm-hmm. It'll get your pH to normal quickly, and you can take greens. Okay. Greens are supreme, especially kale.
Okay. What about drops? Are drops good for you?
And drops are like what's the word? They're palliating.
Band-aid?
They're not curing anything. They're a Band-Aid, yeah. So they help you feel better,
yes.
But they don't cure the issue.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. But if you need them, use them.
Yeah.
And use something
could drop harm your eyes?
Non-preserved.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have sinus congestion and you spray like Nasonex or all these steroids into your nose and your sinuses, could that affect your eyes?
It can raise the pressure in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would stay away from that personally.
Okay.
But there are people taking that because
Yeah.
it's like connecting with your brain. For instance, in India, there's this idea of using the neti pot where you pull water up your nose and then you can have it come down the other side or the same side.
Yes.
So warm, salty water that's clean and so on. But they do it because it wakes your brain up. Actually, I will tell you a little story about that.
Okay,
because it links up with presbyopia. Can we talk about presbyopia?
Yes.
Okay, so when people have presbyopia, they start finding it's too blurred, and they push things away,
Yes.
and then finally somebody says, here, borrow my glasses.
Yes.
And you put them on, and it's magnified, and you say, oh, that feels so much better. I don't have to do anything. The glasses do everything. So is that ideal?
No. I don't.
Think of it like this. You've got a challenge.
Yes.
You're focusing is a challenge. So to me, that's my body saying, hey, pay attention. We need some work here. So I would do exercises, and I'd say, okay, I'd find some small print up close. You can get something from a magazine, like just an advertisement from a magazine.
Okay.
Good. And then you want to find something to look at in the distance that is, a little bit challenging, but, let's say letters, like on the calendar on the wall. And then you want to look near and far, and near and far, so that the muscles in your eyes are contracting, relaxing, contracting, relaxing. And then you increase the demand by bringing it a little bit closer, progressively. So you can do these near-far jumps.
Okay.
And then the second variation is to do a tromboning type of exercise, where you bring it closer, 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 or too blurred, look in the distance, relax, and then try that again.
Mm.
But I like to incorporate breathing with it because, again, we don't want to get tight, so you want to breathe out as you're increasing the demand. So you take a nice breath in, as you breathe out, you bring it nearer, 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 and then look in the distance. And inhale again. Mm-hmm. So we also have tools like these lens flippers. So one's a plus lens and one's a minus lens that I would hold up like this, or you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so smudgy. So let's say you're looking at the same chart that we had before. Any print that's small will do. Okay, so now.
Yes.
Looking at
No
that,
problem.
Martin. Easy? So
Easy.
flip the lenses.
Harder.
Okay, so one's a plus lens, one's a minus lens. And it's just forcing or encouraging Martin's vision to shift so that he's focusing in and relaxing, focusing in, relaxing. Because we want to like pump the system a little bit and create more like what's the word?
Like
Versatility. So there's another exercise you can do, and that's a convergence exercise, and I'll just show this to you. All right. So it's a bit weird. So what I'm going to do, because I practiced this, so it's not too hard, I'm going to hold my thumbs up with these fingers out, and I'm going to imagine that I'm looking at a point between my thumbs and my nose. So watch my eyes, okay? So I'm going to go like this. So I've crossed my eyes, and because I practiced it though, I've got one thumb in the middle with two on the sides. Oops, let me just get them in. There we go.
So you have an extra thumb in there?
Yeah, I've got a middle thumb that's floating. And then if I put my fingers up, I've got a thumb in the middle with one finger here and one finger here.
Is this called a hot dog?
Mark Grossman's, he does a hot dog. So the hot dog, is like this, where you also bring your eyes in, and then you have this little funny little two-ended finger floating in the middle.
Okay, so do whatever, like this?
Right. So what Martin's going to do is, you're going to hold your fingers up, or the hot dog if you want. Do you want to do this hot dog? Okay. So I'm going to give him help. Just push your hands away.
Okay.
There we go. So can you face the camera a little bit more? Or are we too right on now?
No, we're good.
Or to be at an angle?
It's good.
Okay. So Martin is going to look at, he needs a helper, right? He's going to look at my little pointer that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And as I bring it closer, at some point, each finger should double up a little bit. And then he should see that little floating hot dog in the middle. I never actually do this exercise. I do it differently.
See, I've done this and I don't see the hot dog.
Okay. Now, a lot of people find this quite hard to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right. 2 fingers are up. Okay.
Yes.
And I want you to look at the finger that's closest to your nose.
Yes.
And notice how many fingers you see close to your nose. 1 or 2.
1.
Great. Now, the finger that's further away, is that double or single?
Single. Well, now I'm looking at it.
Okay, so look at the one close to your nose.
Yes.
How many further away?
1.
Wiggle your finger. The far finger. You're looking at the near one.
I'm looking at the near one.
And wiggle the far one. How many do you see? Okay, let's go to the far finger. And then notice how many you've got close to your nose.
1.
Okay, so look at the far finger, and then just move the one close to your nose. Maybe it's too close to your nose. How about a little further away? Yeah, like halfway between. So you want to have them in a straight line.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay, maybe they're not so much in this.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens is, I mean, most of us, pretty much everybody has a dominant eye. So when we favor one eye, so if I'm doing this exercise, I might actually have things lined up in a strange way like that. And then it can be hard to do this. Or your brain says like, too much, have a rest. So what? Still see one, okay. So you're probably suppressing one eye.
Okay.
And then I would use a Brock string with you, which is, Martin?
Yes.
How many beads do you have in the string?
2.
And how many strings?
Oh. 1, 2. Depends, but I have 2 here, and they cross a little bit here.
Okay. So if you look at the purple bead.
And 2, like they cross and then they go. Yeah, if I look at the purple bead.
How many purple beads?
1.
Okay. And how many?
And I see 2 sometimes to the green.
2 green beads.
2 greens.
Okay. So when you look at the purple one.
Yes.
I'm going to bring it a little closer to you. Okay, so looking at the purple bead.
Yeah, I see 2 greens.
And how many strings go in?
And now I see 2 here and 2 there.
Okay, and where do they cross?
Where do they cross?
Yeah.
At the purple.
Okay, right in the middle of the purple bead?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Good. That's got
And this is
5
helping
beads
my
on it.
eyes to contract and relax?
It's helping your eyes to, number one, stay on. It's actually like an anti-suppression tool as well, where we want to make sure that each eye is turned on and looking at the target together. And with this, we can build on depth perception and then also on convergence and divergence. A lot of things, yeah. Okay, so this is really useful. So you can just get any piece of string, put one bead on it, and, well, 2 beads is nice, and then play with looking at the string with the beads on it and looking near and far and near and far.
Okay.
And you kind of want to use your focusing ability as well. So if you had, let's say like you had a yellow bead, you could put tiny little letters on it, but I would do the exercise looking near, far, and then the tromboning exercise. Bring it up as close as you can and then further away.
Okay.
And you also, especially if you have a difference between your eyes, use the eyes separately. So you might want to have a patch on or use a long wooden spoon and just cover your eye. So that each eye is strengthened. Okay, just a reminder that if a person's in their mid-40s and they're having challenges with reading, or really at any age, the thing is to be patient and to just accept that it might take a little bit longer to focus, but not give up.
So what is the one thing that most people don't know about eyes that everybody should know?
Eyes love movement.
Eyes love movement, so
and
we
they-
should move,
and they're
or we should
dynamic.
let our eyes move more?
Well, it's just what we've been talking about,
Yeah.
changing focus.
Yeah.
And vision is not static. It's constantly shifting and changing. So unfortunately, when you wear glasses that are at the max prescription for myopia or reading and so on, we're kind of locking ourselves in, and that's the challenge, the difficulty and the problem. And
Do you know why I'm so passionate, like why I really like the eyes? And
I don't know.
well, there's definitely, I think vision is one of our very precious. I think I love to do activities, and I recognize that I'm gonna have a hard time skiing or biking if I can't see. So that's one of my huge motivator. I think there's a lot that the general public does not know about eyes, and what we do know, and I think there's, like, I always like revealing things. I don't know, there's a bit of like, let's talk about the things that people don't really know. And I think that I think just getting glasses and getting more glasses, more prescription, for me, it's not good enough of a plan. I like the idea, yes, you can get glasses, you can get a prescription, but let's look at other, is there more? Is there other options? Can we do some exercise? Should I maybe avoid looking at my computer for 12 hours? Or
Yes.
should I maybe look at my diet? Smoking is one of the worst thing you can do for your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm a huge quality of life. Like, I'd love to live a long, good life, but I want to live a long, good quality life. Like, and that's, I think, what everybody wants. And but it's those little things that if you take care of your eyes right now, you will have a good, like, I know, I can see the future. I can get in my car, in Back to the Future car, and I can go, and I know if I take care of my eyes now, my future is going to look a lot brighter and much better. So that's really why I wanted to come here, to give a bit of a, I think this is a great place too. There's a lot of people here that's working with you. You have like a whole team. There's like 10 doctors here. 10.
I think we're about 7.
Okay.
It's still enough. Yeah.
So I'm rounding,
Yeah.
but huge place. The equipment you have here is.
We've got all state of the art.
You have the best of the best, huh?
Yeah.
So this is a great place.
Yeah, it
Good
definitely
people.
is, for sure, and good staff and so on.
And there's even a trampoline.
Good.
Good. All right.
Well, thank you.
We'll see you next time. Get your eyes checked, but
There he is, looking weird.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Have a great weekend.